welcome to Osseo High School for Northwest Suburban Conference Volleyball, as tonight the Totino Grace Eagles pay a visit here to take on the Orioles. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Janae Alderson, and shaping up as possibly an interesting matchup here tonight. Janae, Grace's record overall a little bit better than Osseo's. I think the Orioles have played a little bit tougher schedule up to this point, and both teams have said, when on a good night we're pretty good, and then in some other times we haven't been as consistent as we'd like. So we'll see how they shake out.
Yeah, it was awesome to be able to talk with both coaches, just understanding kind of where their head's at. Sounds like exactly what you're saying. Sounds like if the middles get going for each team, it'll be kind of their game, but obviously good ball control is the first step in order to get those middles going, and then obviously connection from those setters. Sounds like on the Orioles side, the coach is saying that the connection is getting there, and on the Totino Grace side says that as soon as Arcelia gets going, it's kind of a non-stop game from there. So name of the game, middles, but also ball control, which sounds like Osseo Orioles, from what we were talking about, it's been their main focus, is to keep that, and aggressive serves per usual.
Osseo coming off let's be honest, a lopsided loss to their rival from Maple Grove the other night. I think they're kind of eager to get back on the court and just sort of wipe that memory away and get back to playing their style of volleyball.
Yeah, and Mandy just talking about how they had a long talk. Love to hear that, but after a long loss, you do like to have a kind of a, just an understanding of what went wrong, but also love to hear that they're looking forward. Just, hey, what can we do next? And it sounds like being a team is just the last step for them. When things go wrong, looking at each other and saying, hey, we got this, instead of, going off into your corner, being an individual, and kind of just being in your own world, but just knowing that your teammates got you, because that's what volleyball is all about. It's just seeing the next person next to you and saying, like, I messed up, but I know you're going to pick me up next time. So sounds like Mandy says if they could do that, they got a far future ahead of them.
Talk about key players to look at in tonight's contest, starting with the visitors from Totino Grace, and one of their seniors, Arcelia Abalo, has done a good job for the Eagles, of course, and we know that they're trying to get things going through the middle, and they've got a little bit of size, and Arcelia is one of those players that does a nice job as a blocker, but also trying to get her going in the attack mode too.
Yeah, seeing her in warm-ups is an amazing thing. It's amazing to see her full length, putting her arm up there and just snapping fast. So it would be nice to see that in-game as well. Obviously, again, back to the past, but it looks like she's well and capable to take over a game.
And on the other side for Osseo, a player that, not especially big as you're talking about middles, but Jade Evans, the first word that came to mind for Coach Mandy Berrien was athletic. She's fun to watch. She can get off the ground, and that's something that certainly helps, and they want to get her going a little bit. Again, they've got some veterans in their middle as well.
Yeah, as a former small middle, I have a little bit of bias, but sounds like the biggest thing for them was just connection with the setter. And as a former small middle, I can say when you're bouncy, the timing is just a little bit harder. You have to set it a little bit higher than you think when you look at a short player, and then it's just trusting that Jade is going to, as you can see here, she's looking pretty good, but just trusting that she will take that, go into the air, and give her full approach every time, and the setter just trusting that she's going to do that. But I'm excited to see both middles go at it together, especially at the block. Seeing them block to block, seeing them block each other, but also helping each other out when going sideways. So we'll see how they go.
Osseo had been on a pretty good roll prior to that Tuesday night loss to Maple Grove. Totino Grace looking to bounce back. They've had a few losses in a row here. So, again, both teams in that kind of similar mode here, trying to really get things going as we head toward the October portion of the schedule. We'll see who comes out on top here tonight. Totino Grace and Osseo. Northwest Suburban Volleyball is up next here on CCX.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married, an interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
And welcome back to Osseo as they get set to face the Eagles. A new head coach this year for Totino Grace and Pilar Onstead taking over. There's a look at Pilar and played against you in high school, Janae. Does this make you feel old, or is it a good thing? Or
You know, it made me feel old when I met her, but then it made me feel older when Tina Bow also walked in and she played against me in Osseo as well. So, but it was great to see Pilar. She's coaching. She seems like she's really gotten a rein and a hold on her team. So excited for her.
Former Spring Lake Park high school player and played D2 volleyball. And we are underway here as Osseo with the serve to start things out. Nicely dug up there by Neski for Grace, and then the libero on the other side, Swanson doing the same, and that one is hammered home by Evans, and a early 1-0 lead for Osseo. As you get a look at the starters, Osseo on the right and Totino Grace on the left. Leah Tao serving here for the Orioles as we begin. And got one in, but not the second, and evened up here. Coach Mandy was saying they've been working on, serving more aggressive of late. So she said there've been a few more errors involved with that, and you kind of have that, fine line, like how aggressive do you be if you're not getting them in and all that. Mm-hmm. DeVries too strong with that one.
Well, it does help when they give it back to you. And she did say just not the first serve, so at least Cleo followed instructions there. Just missed the second one. You just got to keep going. Get a gift from the other team.
Hannah Perkins serving now for Osseo.
Nice.
Ooh. And Massaquoi tipping that one over. Here's Evans. Whoa, and that one getting up quickly on Neski and hit her in the shoulder. Evans, we saw a good look at that leaping ability that Coach Burian was talking about there.
Yeah, they did say it'd be a battle of the middles, and it looks like they're trying to get them both started. Jade taking it 2-0, though, on that middle battle.
Have to play a free ball over here. And that one put home by Audrey Cotterill, who is going to be playing all 6 rotation tonight, something that they've kind of eased her into. And Coach was saying she's had a healthier season than she had shoulder injury a couple of years ago and last year concussion. So they're optimistic that Audrey will hopefully be able to play the entire season this year for the Orioles. Mm-hmm. Off the block, great effort, but it's going to be wide on the attempt there by Neski. And Osseo getting things rolling a little bit there as Seibert getting the kill there.
And really getting into rhythm here, as you can see. Just going slightly back and just tipping off the block. They're using the block a little early here, so it's nice to see different shots, not just from the middle.
Ooh. And that one's smoked home by Victoria Ashland for Grace.
Yeah, they did say, Mandy did say they had some type of power on the right side, and they're really exploiting it here. Nice to see that they're running different plays. Obviously, the middle needs to get going, but when you have a perfect pass, try to switch it up so they don't always know where it's going. Great hit.
Neski serving here for the Eagles. And put away there by Cotterville. Pretty good recovery by Tao because that set was not where she was expecting. She was really backpedaling toward the net and got a decent ball up there, and Audrey did a good job putting it away.
Yeah, really elevated and saw the hands she could use, took her right off.
Bree Swanson's having a pretty good season. She had been a setter, but now playing in the libero spot for them.
Oh.
And let's see, was that wide of the antenna, or we had a net violation there?
Yeah, just Ashland going a little bit under the net there, but gratefully everyone's okay. She's gotten up gracefully, so.
And then we saw the reason why that's something they try to call tightly because you don't want collisions like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cotterville, another opportunity.
Such a benefit. Set her out on the first ball, but as you just said, you do have Bree Swanson there, who was a previous setter, so she knows exactly where to go if your set's out. just to be able to get that perfect ball up even when they're out of system. Really nice benefit.
That ball ended up in, but it was a net violation against Grace anyway, so it was going to be Osseo's point regardless. And that'll be an ace for Swanson.
Ooh.
And quick timeout taken by Coach Onstead as Grace has been a little sluggish to start, and Osseo up 9-2 to begin things here in set number 1.
Yeah, nothing really bad happening. Just Osseo, obviously they're kind of in their rhythm a little bit earlier than Totino Grace. Totino Grace still getting into the right places, just not quite getting stopped on their feet or really kind of adjusting to what they're seeing, especially with that setter. Setter's doing a good job kind of flinging it wherever she wants to go. And so when you do have that moment where a setter can put it anywhere on the other side, just taking a deep breath, getting stopped on your side and just reacting to what's happening, not what you think's going to happen. But, I mean, Osseo is really just looking good in system with the passes and everything, so sometimes it's kind of hard to play against that. Oh.
There's Mandy Berrien, 10th season, and she said, you know, on our good nights, we generally have competed. She said we did not play well against Maple Grove the other night. That there's just no two ways about that. But pretty much all the other nights, you know, they felt like they maybe could. Both teams said that, you know, our record maybe could be just a little bit better. We felt like we played better on some nights, but that ball cross court but wide for Grace, and the lead continues to grow here early for Osseo. Just long there as they called DeVries off that one. I thought she was about to play it, but she heard her teammates.
It's good to have your teammates on the bench actually talk to you once in a while and have balls going out. And as you said earlier, aggressive serves, they had them out Totino out of system for a while, but it does sometimes come with a cost when it goes a little bit long.
Clara White in to serve here for Totino Grace. And I think that talking on the serves is even more important when you're on the road and when you're in an unfamiliar gym.
Yeah. You got a million people talking to you. Ooh. Nice.
Ashland will score the kill there for Grace.
Really nice recovery. Taking and going, stepping right to the ball and just meeting the ball where it's at and taking some hands and doing something with it. But really nice to be able to get your feet to the ball there. Ooh.
Come right side with it there for Seibert. Net violation against Grace.
Really smart for Cyber there, obviously. The set was just a little bit off. Cyber came a little bit early, so it was behind her, but good recognition just to snap down on the ball, send it somewhere deep, and obviously the other team live for another day. Maybe the other team might make a mistake.
Anjanae Wynn coming in to serve here for Osseo as they try and get a little run going again. They're up 11-4 here in this first set.
Ooh.
And I think we have another net violation against Grace. I believe that the setter may have crossed underneath Eichenberry.
Just a couple rough starts, some things that obviously as a coach you just want to be able to play instead of give some points away. But doing good overall. Ooh. Nice.
This time tipped home by Ballo.
Yeah, great recognition. Just nothing too hard sometimes for a point. Sometimes you just got to find an open court, catch someone off their heels. Obviously, you have someone coming in, a new player there. And so sometimes they're not yet accustomed. So really smart play just to tip it right over the block.
Hurlbrink to serve here for Grace.
Ooh. She wanted it.
Yeah, McNamara coming aggressive at that one, but
yeah. You can't be mad at aggression sometimes, but maybe sometimes when the set's a little bit off, you want to live for another day, get it over the net.
Tough ball to the outside. Cradabell stayed with it. And that one was going to be close to being out, but Cradabell will play it. Cross court swing for McNamara this time.
Ooh.
Cradabell getting up again, but dug up by White.
Oh.
Abalo, a swing, Swanson to the floor. Good long rally here. And that one will be down. Tough ball for the setter there, but they were able to get it done there as Jordan Andre ends up taking that second ball because it was so tight to the net.
And I mean, Abalo did the best she could trying to get hands on it. Obviously would have just dropped behind her, but teammates couldn't quite come to get her, but great rally overall.
Debris tipping now. Perkins misfiring on that one. That one looked a little bit like her toss with the candy at the beginning when they were doing the lineups. Hannah Perkins got a good laugh at her own lack of judgment on the depth as she threw candy up toward the stands, and it ended up all on the court instead.
Yeah, straight up and down.
It's good to see. Those are some of the things that are fun about high school sports. It's a little, teammates having a good laugh about something like that.
Yeah. It's nice to be able to laugh about yourself, especially in a game with so many mistakes there. But Totino getting one as finally someone finds the floor. And they're starting to find a little bit of rhythm in the tipping game, kind of disrupting the rhythm of Osseo with sometimes when you have hard hits, back and forth, you can disrupt that rhythm from the other team just by tipping it short and then maybe start catching them off guard in some other areas.
Yeah, Eikenberry with the setter dump. Swanson made an effort but couldn't keep it alive. Debris going down the line. And again, Andre had to play that one over. Push deep toward the corner. Eagles will have to scramble, but they do it. Perkins, a big swing, but dug up by Ashland. Another good point back and forth, and Cotterville missed that corner. Pretty good idea where she wanted to go with it, but didn't quite hit it. And another long point. You can just feel both teams have picked things up where everything's flowing now a lot more.
You got to wonder what Pilar said in that huddle, because you just see Totino Grace fighting back and just living for another day, going for those long rallies and winning a couple. You get that momentum.
Andre to Perkins. Block was late, and Hannah Perkins will score it for Osseo.
Yeah, and you're starting to look at some matchups here. As you can see, Totino Grace here with 7 as a setter, a little bit shorter, but also have a good matchup with 1 over here. So Crowder Will not in the front row, which she kind of has a powerhouse when she's in that front row, racking up some points. So you could see Totino Grace taking advantage as she sits in the back. But we also have Evans here, so let's see what happens when we get going. Ooh.
McNamara way too strong with that serve. And Eikenberry will serve now for Grace as they are within 4. They've been trailing pretty much throughout, but now battling back little by little. And overpass there. Boy, they haven't done Andre too many favors. She's had a lot of balls that have been passed pretty tight to the net.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. You can't do too much with a tight ball, but
that one was wide.
I mean, she was front row. She was doing the best she could. I mean, given those dumps, she got one of them. But after a while, you start to wonder, just give me a pass right in the middle. Give me a pass right in the middle high, and I'll give you a good ball. As the setters in my past day, they'd say that to me at least.
Tao with the serve, overpass there. Perkins, though, missed it. Went up, timed it perfect, but just missed the sideline.
Yeah, Perkins will be dreaming about that later. But as you can see here, gets up great, but kind of just not noticing exactly where she is on the court. Maybe she wanting to cut it back.
And the Eagles actually attempted to play the ball, but just couldn't get there.
Yeah.
Perkins, another swing, but this one denied as Grace throwing up the blocking game a little bit. Massaquoi at 6'3".
Yeah, Perkins seeming to be their go-to, maybe Totino Grace knowing that, but without those passes in the middle and Evans being in the game, you can see here the block starting to figure out where to go.
Yeah, and Ashland got most of that one, but Massaquoi there in the middle to to be a determining factor as well.
Oh.
And nicely done on the right side there is Brands getting her first swing for Grace, and there to within a point.
Well, looky here. I mean, never count them out. And obviously Pilar is saying something. You could see some great distribution between each of the hitters. Not too much in the middle as much, but obviously we'll probably come back with a perfect pass.
DeVries serve, though, too strong there, and Osseo's lead will be back to 2. Perkins getting set to serve. And it's an ace.
That was a monster serve, just low over the tape, coming in sideways, and you come cross court to cross court. That's a hard angle, just knowing you have to get in front of it or get behind it, shoot it just a little bit forward, but also remember that your platform is angling at the opposite direction. So pretty hard, and it's also dying right in front of you. I mean, it's a good serve, and as Mandy said earlier, the serves are the name of the game. They're going to want to be aggressive. Had they served some out earlier? Yeah, but I'll take a couple serves out if you're going to give me an ace right there.
We talked earlier about Evans being really athletic. Perkins seems like she is too, and not just, I mean, definitely some leaping ability, but also quickness out on the court. I mean, she's had a couple mistakes, but she's still a player that you feel like is giving you some good energy and showing some good things out there too. Yeah,
and continuing to jump and just go at her full speed. The biggest thing you want to see is that even when your hitters maybe struggling a little bit, but she's not struggling at all, but just continuing to jump and continuing to try. It's when you start to get in yourself, get a little bit timid, start to tip, but she's just going for it, and that's what all you can ask is for a coach.
Perkins back to the service line. Osseo a little bit of breathing room again at 3-point lead. And that one didn't work out for Brands.
Yeah, Osseo just all over it as Brands did come in kind of walking in with the tip hand ready. So sometimes when you see that as a blocker, you just know I'm going to go for it before you even touch it. Don't know what.
Little positioning question for Grace there, and referee finally got what he was asking for there. And that one kind of in between. Gives Osseo an opportunity. Cradwell will put this one just long. I thought it looked good.
Did look into here. But I'm a trust the line judge. He's closer than I am. Great swing, though. Great awareness to just go for that backcourt from an out-of-system ball.
Eski serving here for Totino Grace with the Eagles trailing it by 3.
Nice pass.
And that one put away by Evans.
Evans playing a little bit middle, a little bit of right side. It is nice sometimes having a versatile middle, doing anything from anywhere.
Bree Swanson to serve here for Osseo. They're up 19-15 and out of rotation for Grace.
So must have been what he was talking about previously.
Yeah, I think he kind of gave him like a warning the first time, and then this next time wasn't going to have any more leeway with it and called it right away.
Yeah, Sutter just cheating a little bit to get to her spot, overlapping with 15.
This time they go to Brands, and that was kind of like an angry one almost, if you will, because they're upset about not having things go their way those last couple points.
Yeah, she was the exact player that was walking away shaking her head as if she was like, that's not it. Took the reins in her own hands and showed them, don't have to be out of position, we could just kill the ball. As you can see here, great approach, just swinging. As you can see, Cradwell just dove in, giving her the line just a little bit, took it for herself.
White with the serve here for Grace. We had another net violation there on the Eagles.
Yeah, solid block, but I guess if you get a little help pushing over the net, could be a solid block, but still that, I believe Totino Grace has had the most blocks over so far. between Osseo. And we'll see here kind of what happened.
Ashland, a nice dig by Perkins. Across to Cotterill, but dug up by DeVries. Dumped over, but Neske was ready. And then put away by Abalo.
Yeah, great dig to start by DeVries. She was there in position, just stuck out a hand, prayed for it to go up in his perfect pass. Gave it to the person in front, as you could see here, and then they just put it away by putting it back to the middle. Great at assistant ball to find the middle, and the middle just trusting her setter to give it into her hands with any approach.
Hurlbrink serving here for Grace. Nice block, but Cotterill digs it up. Neske getting to that one. Come right side with a good coverage behind her there by Wynn. And a great effort. Almost kept it alive there. Eikenberry chased it down and nearly ran into the referee's stand, but got the pass up enough to at least give her team a chance. But
yeah, we'll have a quick replay here. Thought she was going to run into the stand. Perfect one pass back, but I think her teammates are just as excited as we were.
Yeah, they were kind of caught watching a little bit. And that serve was not a great one for Cotterill, so Grace will get it right back. Not a lot of margin, though, for error for Totino, now down by 22-18.
And this was about the rotation last time they went on a run, just having Cotterill in the back row, Perkins in the front. Great pass by Perkins.
Chip to the outside. Another tough ball to handle for the setter, but they get it done as Andre, and now 23-18.
Yeah, and it's just looking as if just finding that right pass, finding it just the sweet spot between a little too tight and a little bit further just to get that middle going. But great job by the middle to stay in the game, recognize her setter is in trouble, and take that approach, making sure she has somewhere to go.
McNamara serving for the Orioles. Give it back to Totino Grace.
It's nice to be aggressive on serves, but as the good old coach John Yunker used to say, at least let him think a bit and serve it out.
And there's an ace for Eikenberry. Yeah, the ones where I get exactly what he means. The ones where they don't have to think about it at all. That is this in? Do I play it? Then those are easy.
Yeah, because then you just start second guessing yourself. But then the other balls that fall in that are look out. But it's a whole mind game.
Come to Evans, and their timing was good on that one. We hadn't heard from her in a little while, but that time smokes it for the Orioles, 24-20.
And she can get up, and she can get up quick. At first, the ball was in the air, and all of a sudden, with her spring, as you said earlier, athletic, bouncy, as Mandy said, she can get up as soon as the ball is up in the air, and it just kind of confuses the block, too, as what the timing is. Ooh, no.
Rolled over here. Perkins was ready for it. They go back to Evans, and that one was good. And that will be set point in the opening set as Jade Evans, a couple of kills in a row to end the first. Osseo led throughout. Grace battled back, but the Orioles win it 25-20. Our second set is coming up next here on CCX.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
Welcome back here to Osseo High School as Osseo beating Totino Grace 25-20 in the first set here tonight of our Northwest Suburban Volleyball match on CCX. Osseo getting off to a good start, Janae, and boy, that sure helps when you've got, that 7-point lead. Then it kind of was even after that, but they'd already built that lead, and Grace, just had too long of a way to come back.
Yeah, that gap really did it kind of overshadowed kind of what we saw, though. I mean, Totino definitely was starting to fight back, starting to find their rhythm, but Evans was kind of the key to the game. They ended how they started. Evans with 2 kills in the beginning, and then Evans with 2 kills at the end, kind of finding their rhythm with that pass. As you mentioned earlier, it was a little tight for Osseo for quite a while, not giving Aubrey, I believe, any time to do anything with it. But also on Totino's side, kind of losing their rhythm a little bit in this serve-receive game, but also finding some rhythm with Brands and also their right side there. But just had too many little errors, like the in the nets.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, out of rotation.
Yeah, those, I mean, gosh, when you lose by 5 points and you had roughly that many net violations, I mean, if they cleaned that up, it would have been even closer. Yeah, they had a mighty struggle with being in the net, and then, of course, the rotation error, too.
Yeah, clean that up. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, in a strange way, I mean, I think they probably gained some confidence by the way they played coming back, even though they lost that set.
Yeah.
Massaquoi tipping to the outside. Good effort by Tao to get there. And then Perkins will get a kill as the timing on the block just wasn't quite there. I think Massaquoi is coming down a little bit by the time she had contact with the ball.
Yeah, you said it right in the head. I got nothing else to say.
Perkins serving here for the Orioles.
Ooh.
And that time Neski, a rare mistake on serve receive there. It looked like she maybe was distracted by her team. It was just that split second of hesitation about who was going to take it.
Yeah, she kind of turned around there, pointed over at DeVries and said, "That's you," but also that communication in the beginning starts right when the ball is served. So,
overpass there. Eagles fortunate to keep it alive, but then a nice block thrown up, and Osseo getting off to another excellent start here in the second set.
And recognizing here, first of all, just that nice swing, but a great setup by Osseo, the middle noticing that they're way inside and then setting up even farther to be in line with the arm. Great block setup.
Evans getting that block for Osseo. Swanson will give it to Cotterill on the outside. Neski digging that one up nicely. Ashland playing it down the line, but it was out.
Ooh, great idea. As the last second we did see, no one was covering that line deep tip, but just quite out. So maybe something Osseo will look for in the future, but also something for Totino Grace to look for as well.
Perkins just into the tape on that one, so Eagles get on the board.
That serve always floating with that top of the line, but I would love to live there. It's a good serve.
Yeah, well, like you talked about, what Coach was saying, that being aggressive is a good thing. I mean, occasionally you're going to have to live with a miss, but so the Eagles will score their second point in a row here.
Yeah, and kind of going off what you said, I mean, even the Big Ten, Pac-12, everybody, they flirt with dangerous serves, but they always say if you put a free ball in, basically, it's might as well be a kill.
Tao going right side with that one, dug up. Oops. Eagles almost let that ball drop. Swanson, a nice dig there. Ottawa will send one over high and deep. And Abalo, actually a kind of a miss hit there, but it worked out as Osseo caught. That ball just barely grazed her hand, but got enough of it to drop it into a good spot.
I mean, as a team, we always joke, if you could master the miss hit, you would be a D1 player.
Tao coming for Evans, and offhand there as Abalo didn't quite get that ball turned in. She, she read it, but just didn't quite get there. But Evans.
Yeah, as you can see her, she loaded up a little bit too much. Hands were a little bit late, so she's coming up. Big target to reflect off of. Get her hands over a little bit earlier. You'll see a block.
That pass tight into the net. Eikenberry tried to do what she could with it, and then Abalo couldn't get that ball over. So 6-3 lead here for Osseo.
Ooh. Nice.
And Ashland will put that one away.
And Osseo putting a in the net violation on the board. I mean, it was a great hit, but sometimes when you're really going for that block, you gotta be aware of where that net is.
Clara White serving here for Grace. Ooh, and that's an ace.
She turns around with a surprised face. You could tell that wasn't the best contact, but again, if the other side can't tell what you're doing, if you don't know what you're doing, nobody does. It usually falls to the court, but still a great serve, solid contact for it to drop.
Oh. Tried to do the same thing, and that time into the net.
And it is a great spot she's aiming at. As you can see, the setter's coming up from that angle. So sometimes when the setter's coming from the back, you want to aim that way. So there's a little bit of confusion of running past. That person has to wait for them to run, to get behind the ball, to pass it. So seeing where that coaching from Pilar is really coming in handy.
Andre going to McNamara here, and Abalo just trying to do what she could to get that one over, but can't do it. 8-5 lead now for the Orioles. Oh, that one might have been going out, I think. White wasn't sure though, so she played it. Oh. Good coverage by Swanson after the good block, and that one hit to a wide open corner. Grace got sucked up into the middle, and you turn around and look, and yeah, there's an awful lot of room back there, and they found it.
Yeah, and debris just a little bit up as well, but middle back usually, it depends on the defense you're playing, but usually a little bit farther back to cover anything deep. But hopefully communicate and move on to the next ball. Oh.
Good effort. Swanson able to get it over, but then put away by Abalo.
Yeah, Abalo really great hustle by Osseo in the first place, just really doing all they can to get the ball over. But Abalo kind of crushing their dreams, as you see here, pushing it over. Great effort.
That is really good effort by all three of those Osseo players. I mean, I didn't think there was much chance they were going to get to that one.
Yeah, sometimes they're a little faster than you think.
Hurlbrink serving for Grace. Cotterill on the slide. It was good.
Oh, really utilizing Cotterill on every part of the court. Looks like she's hitting some middle, but hitting a lot of outside. But then took a rip at the three, or kind of that midpoint for middle. So it's a little bit higher set, but a little farther in for outside. But then running a slide, which is a middle approach. So a lot of tools in her belt there.
DeVries getting a good swing at that one. She's not all that big, but able to deliver.
That hit made her look 10 times taller. Love to see the energy afterwards, just pumping up her teammates. As you can see here, big approach, stays behind it, swinging. Oh, great turn down on the thumb to swing away from the block. Just in that corner, in between the back and the right back, middle back and right back.
McNamara putting that one away for the Orioles. I think they've done a pretty good job, too, of not letting Grace get a run of points ever, really. It's, you know, if we've seen a few in a row, it's generally been for Osseo, and they've limited Grace to, you know, one or two at a time.
Yeah, great shout out. Yeah, you can see Totino Grace get pumped up, but Osseo doesn't get rattled. They just take on to the next point and kind of crush that excitement right away.
Peyton Andre into serve.
Ooh. block is a little bit off the net, giving a little bit of wriggle room for that ball to just drain down the front of that blocker. But really nice and well done for a ball, putting it in between.
That was Massaquoi that time, yeah.
Oh, Massaquoi, I apologize. Thank you.
Eikenberry serving here for Grace. Here's Perkins, and had it blocked, and then she couldn't resist reaching out behind. It was a possibility that block was going to land out, but she played it.
Yeah, and if you go for it, you got to go for it. My coach always says, if it's out, it's not out unless you say it's out, and if you don't think it's out, you better play it like it's not out.
Otterville push that one over. Tip to the outside, and it was good as Massaquoi will score it.
That's starting just with a bit of miscommunication on Osseo's side. You see they're taking a little bit of a longer huddle in the middle, sending over a free ball, which setting up a nice middle attack, and they're taking advantage of that tip to the right.
Perkins, a nice swing there, and again finding a little room inside the back line, and there again Osseo not allowing them to tie it up. They stem the run a little bit to get it at 12-10.
Super good at just keeping composure no matter what type of point erupts from the Totino side, but Totino also doing a great job keeping composure and keep chugging along, taking away points little by little.
Cross court with that one, but Perkins was ready, and now here's Evans as they go quick.
That is such a wild setup. The ball's near us, but just that set is hanging in the air, and you think it's going to no one for a second, and she just has the ability to spring up so fast, arm swing already ready, and just trigger right away. It's hard to block. Nice.
Off the block there, Swanson though getting it to Tao. And then put away on the right side there for our Seibert. Orioles go up by 4. They won the first set 25-20 and now leading at 14-10 as Kalia Tao serving. And too short with that one.
Great idea. There's a lot of, wherever there's a lot of hitters in one spot, you kind of like to serve it short, give a little traffic, especially if it's a middle or someone who doesn't pass often. You might get a bad pass or maybe just miscommunication, but didn't quite make it. Aggressive serve, though.
DeVries serving, and she gives it right back to the Orioles.
Too bad you can't re-toss in varsity, huh? Toss is just a little bit low, couldn't do too much with it. Shot it down to the net, but being aggressive on both sides, which you love to see.
Perkins, ooh, that one handled by Neski off the net, and then that was ball handling error anyway on Massaquoi. Good pass this time. Ashland looking cross court, but mishit it just a little bit there. And now a timeout as Pilar Onstead will talk things over here as Osseo's lead has grown to 6.
Yeah, and it doesn't even really feel like it. I mean, Totino's keeping pace. They're fighting. They're giving some great shots on both ends, trying the right side, trying the outside. They're doing everything they can, but Osseo, as you said earlier, any momentum Totino gets, Osseo's right there just to put the serve, a really good serve in, or just put a really good ball that's deep and out from anywhere, especially from an out-of-system ball. So just finding spots, obviously, that they're not, but Totino's still hanging in there. Doesn't quite feel like a 6-point lead, but at the same time, it still is a 6-point lead. So good timeout, and hopefully Pilar has some good words to say.
Well, you mentioned composure earlier, looking kind of through the lineup, and really a lot of seniors playing for both of these teams. I mean, in Osseo in particular, their starting group, Swanson is a junior, but all the rest of them 12th graders here in the lineup tonight, and largely the same for Grace. They're playing a lot of seniors as well. So You know, at this point in their careers, you kind of expect that they've been through it all, the wins, the losses, so they know what to expect. And that'll be an ace for Perkins. You love to see that out of the timeout. A lot of times it's kind of the old cliche, but servers, you know, lose their concentration coming out of their huddle, but didn't happen there.
Yeah, Perkins has a really good routine setting up for her serve. I mean, something that my coach always said, have something that is familiar, so it seems the same.
Dug up there by Brands, but Eagles again, that's the second ball on that point actually where they kind of almost collided, or both players were starting to take it. Gotta get a little louder on who's got it.
Yeah.
That one is too strong as they let DeVries know to let it go, so good attack. Again with Perkins, though, she had a good serving run, and I don't think you really, you know, get too upset by that, she's being strong and aggressive at it.
Yeah, I mean, with the serve she has and at the age she is, I mean, she's put in the good runs, and eventually those all start connecting, but even the biggest players will end their own runs. Getting some excitement going, and as we said earlier, with those kind of two miscommunication errors in one rally, they're starting to figure out, looking at each other. You could see they're looking at the bench, looking at Pilar, kind of understanding what they need to do next.
Neski's serve might have been headed out, and good job by Cyber to not fall into the bench, but then it's put away by Abalo as the Eagles getting fired up again.
Yeah.
And it started with a serve that the two Osseo players, one of them was letting it go and the other played it. I think it was going to be out. Yeah, right there, Perkins.
Great effort. Sending it right into a lap.
Go to Evans here. DeVries digs it up. Overpass there. And that one put away.
Yeah, first of all, Evans just putting it down from a high height. But on Totino's side, starting to see just a little bit of miscommunication, looking down at each other, seeing who's going to go for it instead of just one person saying, I'm going to do it. But still holding together, as you can see, talking with one another.
Swanson's serve was good. That time DeVries let it go and she maybe shouldn't have. Now, yeah, there's actually been discussion. This may not stand as an ace.
Ooh. Good look. Oh, we're getting the full view here. I can only read lips.
Line judge signaled in, but I think the down official might overrule, or at least say, you know, how sure are you?
Yeah. Great job by the official taking a close call and getting a little bit better insight.
Might be a replay perhaps here, or be called out.
Ooh, called in.
It's going to be called an ace.
Referee's doing a great job. Line judge is doing a great job. But you know line judge is doing a good job when you never notice him. So, just really calling. Ooh.
Hard to tell. It kind of looked in on that shot, I thought, but
yeah, it's
now
hard to
the
tell.
Eagles get it as Brands will deliver the kill.
Something about Brands, when there's a call that doesn't go her way, she always walks back, shakes her head. Next one, pounds it to the ground, maybe asking her setter, hey, give it to me, but seems like someone who really calls to action when there's something not going her way.
White in to serve here for Totino Grace, and now gets the go-ahead. Push deep toward the corner, and it's going to work out. Reaching back for it was Neski. Good court awareness by Osseo there. A lot of times you think, well, that's kind of giving up by just pushing the ball deep, but if you realize they're out of position, it can be a good thing.
Yeah, and if you realize this isn't going to be a good hit for me. Beautiful idea, just kind of looking down, seeing where they are, and putting in that spot.
Win with the serve, and Eagles, it looked a little awkward, but they got it over. Now Cotterill. Dumped over by Eikenberry. And that one is just out and not a touch. So Eagles will get the point.
Yeah, McNamara just a little bit behind the ball, or in front of the ball, so the ball is just behind her, and when she tried to slap down on it, just under it, so it sailed just a little bit out, but doing a great job getting around her setter and trying to be available.
Hurlbrink serving here for Grace. And Perkins backpedaling plays that one. Eagles get a block, but Cotterill will get another opportunity. Free ball sent over here. And McNamara off the block. Eagles scramble, and they get it back. Eske stayed with it. Swanson, a nice dig. Cotterill puts it away.
Wow.
Those are kind of points where you almost feel like it's maybe 1.5 points because it's such an exciting point. It's just like a momentum thing when you get that one.
There's so many great plays in one, and as you can see here, really great awareness, just pushing it over. Block gets a nice little touch. Swanson's coming in, and even in the ball's inside, Arterwell takes a big approach to be right behind it to get a good swing. Nice overall.
Long run to get to that one for the setter, Eikenberry. They come to Cotterill off the block. Good hands by Neske. And DeVries will get it done for Totino Grace as they fight to try and stay in it. 23-17 deficit now.
And that's what you like to see. I mean, obviously you don't like to be down by 6, but you love to see your team fighting as if and looking on the court as if you can't tell they're down by 6. So great job on Totino's side with a monster serve.
And DeVries misfiring, looking for the roll shot there, and now a set point chance for Osseo. Peyton Andre, the freshman, will come in. We talked about a lot of seniors. They got the 1 9th grader, and she comes in to serve here.
Oh.
And it'll be an ace for Peyton Andre. And Osseo takes the second set as well here. Orioles win it 25-17. They now have a 2-0 lead here as Andre gets congratulations from her older sister here. We'll be back with set 3 here. Osseo leading Grace now 2-0.
I'm ready for battle anytime we go to war. I'm ready for battle anytime we go to war. I'm the underdog, yeah, I'm the underdog. I'm the
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
And we get set for our third set here as Osseo prevailing in the first two, 25-20 and 25-17. And now you kind of see, like, do you keep your foot on the gas and try and put them away? And you see sometimes teams kind of let up, or there's more substitutions and the rhythm gets broken a little bit. We'll see how it is here.
It's always that third game. You're like, oh, we're all about to go home. And then something happens. And it always, too, is kind of like you have nothing to lose on the side where you're kind of struggling a bit. But also on the other side, you think you got this in the bag. You don't need to do as much as you did before, and it catch you on your back heels. But we shall see.
Cow with the serve here for Osseo to start the third. Massacre had that one blocked. Cow coming outside to Perkins. Nice dig by Ashlandel. And then a misfire by Brands will give Osseo that opening point.
Good to see coming out with a rally. Great digs on both sides. Kind of coming out strong, so both sides just figuring out each other, figuring out the temperature of this match, but obviously Osseo ending that point.
Towel will come for Evans with the left hand, putting that one away. As Brands had to get on her quick. Evans a little bit different look that time and tipping with the left hand into the outside. Eagles weren't ready.
Yeah, she's showing all the tools in her tool bag, going to the right, going to the left, tipping strong with the opposite hand. She's, as Mandy said, she's looking at some schools, D1 or D2. We're all waiting to see.
And that one put away as Grace's Brands getting it done there. 2-1 lead now for Osseo as DeVries will serve. Ooh, tough serve, and that's an ace.
Wow. You like to see that serve coming out in the third game, of course, don't you?
Yeah, I put that one up there with the best ones they've had tonight, I think. Swanson getting a good pass up here. Perkins ranging out to her right, but dug up by Nesky. Evans hammering it. And you were right earlier that it just feels like a lot of times teams aren't ready for how quick. I mean, it's just a different look when they go to Evans than anybody else.
Yeah, if you're a blocker, if you're timing your block with the ball, you're already early, and if you're timing it with her, you might be late. So as a blocker, it would be difficult to figure out where she's going, especially because she doesn't show where her hand's going until the last second.
Brand sending it over. Ottawa rushing in to play that one. And Massaquoi able to tip it home.
And she's been having a lot of success with that tip on to that side, finding that the right wing is a little bit shorter or a little bit deeper for Osseo's setup in their defense. So having a little bit of a corner in that tee, all she has to do is find it or use those blockers' hands. Ooh.
Good effort, but Osseo can't keep her up. That good short floater serve. Swanson skidding on the floor to get it. And overpass, and the Orioles tried to fight it back, but couldn't do it. And Grace with a 4-3 lead. This may be the first lead they've actually had all night at any point.
I think I agree with you on that.
And quickly tied up, though, as Seibert getting the kill there for Osseo. She hasn't a lot of swings, but has been effective when she has.
Yeah, just the biggest thing about a middle is always being ready, because maybe you might not get a lot of swings, but you pull those blockers, and once you get that hit, they have to respect you. So then it's just like, hey, where am I going to go to block? Am I going to be late on the outside because this middle's going to hit?
Pushed over there. Eagles scramble, but get it over. Ooh, Patteville, a big swing there. DeVries digs it up. Powell will come back right side with it, and Abalo scoring it.
Great rally. You'd like to see Totino Grace. You see the whole bench really getting into it. You could tell they're really riding, and they're really have hope that they can do this, and as they should. They've been toe-to-toe with Osseo all night. Just a matter of some balls that aren't going their way and some minor violations of the net.
McNamara will get the kill there to even us back up at 5-5. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't, they've lost. The scores are what they are, but it doesn't feel like they've really been getting just blown out in either of the first two sets.
And as a coach, sometimes, you hate to see it in the moment where a lot of the mistakes from the score from your team, but at the same time, you can fix that. You know that your team, all they have to do is focus on themselves.
Win with a good serve there. DeVries, though, good pass. Cotterill denied. And then that one, McNamara trying for some hang time there.
You can see the Osseo bench. They might have thought there was a net touch. And we will have a replay here. Nice first block. Coming in. We don't know.
Eagles leading at 6-5. Earlbrink serving. Andre coming out to Cotterville, but dug up. Oops, that's a tough one. As Eikenberry couldn't get her body turned right as she played that ball just to a spot where there wasn't really going to be much opportunity to get a swing on it.
Yeah, sometimes in running like that, you don't know exactly your body awareness, how far you've ran. You're like, oh, this might be the spot, but it's great hustle. Just couldn't quite get in the spot she wanted. Ooh.
And a misfire there by Abalo.
Yeah, the set was just a little bit low, and Abalo didn't. She jumped up. She looked like she really wanted it, but a little too high for her, a little too low of a ball for her height, and still swung down it instead of living for another day with a tip or just kind of getting it over. Ooh.
Cotterville digging it up, and Osseo, they'll take it. Those are those hustle points. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but they win the point.
Yeah, and just great awareness, great up by our Carter Whirl. Yes.
Tough pass into the net there, and Eikenberry trying to play that one, and timeout Coach Onstead here as Osseo scoring 4 in a row. They surge into a 9-6 lead.
Yeah, and Pilar calling that timeout, as you can see, she's just taking a moment just to sit with her setter. She's just trying to understand exactly what's going on. The setter is kind of picking good decisions for as far as which hitter to hit, but at the same time, just taking time to make sure it's in the right spot or making sure that the block is also not following that hitter. There's a lot to being a setter. Not a lot of people talk about it. It's like you have to make sure that you know where the block is on the other side, look over there, then decide which hitter is ready to put the ball on the ground. Sometimes you have to gauge the temperature of the hitter, seeing like, hey, are they ready to hit this ball? Or are they really aggressive? Are they going to put this down for me? Or maybe they have a little bit of confidence. It just all comes in with the setter. I give every setter out there the most kudos ever because it takes a lot to be the leader on the court, and she's going all the way around. So, and she has a good leader there. Pilar was a setter, so she was a great one too, and she could put a ball anywhere as well as just be a hitter. So all around great player. So nice to see. They're excited to see the new coach kind of pull those setters aside and give her whole team courage. As you can see, they keep battling back. They have a heart of warriors.
Cotterville serving out of the timeout with Osseo up 9-6.
Ooh.
And Grace continuing to just make a few more errors than Osseo, and it just feels like it's been enough for them to not be able to close the gap.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
A little misfire on that pass, and score it for Cotterville as the Orioles run continues here.
Yeah, and you can kind of start to see, first of all, also just continuing to put pressure on that serve. Doesn't matter if they miss it, it's going to be aggressive the next time. And Mandy, as the coach, kind of gave him free range to do that. And now you're also kind of seeing on Totina's side a little bit of breakdown in communication, usually where it starts. And then from there, people start to get a little quiet, but still a lot of game left to play.
Dumped over here, but Cotterville was ready. Ooh, and there's a collision for Osseo. They still get it over, though. Now they scramble back into position. Ooh. And Cotterville, that ball was low. Not greatest passing play overall for them, and then she still tried to be aggressive on it.
Yeah, and was that the first attempt from the back row?
Yeah, I think maybe second.
Oh, would have been good if it was a little higher. I could see they're really putting a lot together to perfect their all-around game.
Comes from Massacre there, nice dig by Andre, and now Perkins will get it done.
Perkins, great way to elevate. She just gets the tips of those top to blockers. And as you said earlier, Perkins can jump. I mean, we talked about Evans, but Perkins gets up there. It looks like she sees her line of sight, uses the hands as necessary. And you just have So Anandizo's just caught on their heels, not ready to push forward quite yet, but also just a great block usage.
Perkins seems like she plays confident too, and I think that can rub off on your team a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, the net violation there on Grace, and not really Eichenberry's fault, though. The pass was so tight to the net that she was just couldn't stop her momentum.
And yes, I agree with you, Jay, there. Confidence can rub off on everyone. And she, no matter what, she holds her composure.
McNamara into the net with that one, so Osseo's lead trimmed to 14-8. Eichenberry will serve here for Grace. Perkins on the tip there. Swanson the dig. Perkins runs it down. Osseo lives to fight on. Perkins getting a swing there, and Ashland trying to get underneath that one, but her pass spraying off to the side and into their bench, so 15-8.
Yeah, and Osseo, as you can see here, first of all, great dig by Bree Swanson, and then the rundown by everyone else, but also starting to pick up on that tip to that corner. As you can see, the middle already gets started, so all she has is a tip in her tool belt, and now they're just starting to sit there, expecting it, and they're running their plays.
Brands, oh boy, collision almost there, and Cradwell into the net. Swanson and Cradwell both went hard for that ball, and I don't know if how much contact they made with each other, but it looked like that could have been trouble for either one. Swanson asking Cradwell if she's all right there. She hit the floor hard too.
Still shaking it off a bit, but says she's okay for Cradwell.
They serve at her there, no mercy.
I was just about to say.
Perkins will skip that one off the block and get the serve for the Orioles.
No mercy in volleyball, as I've learned. You can't be nice. If you see someone crying, unfortunately, you have to serve them.
Yeah. Or if you see somebody struggling to pass a ball, they're going to get it again and again.
Yeah.
And there's Ashland with the kill for Grace. Kind of feels like now or never for them in this one. They got a point. They're down 6. I mean, they can't trade points now. They need to put a surge together if they're going to be able to come back in this one. Neski serving for the Eagles. Well, not going to happen that way.
Yeah. I mean, when you're down, you know you can't give a lollipop, because at the end of the day, if you give a lollipop to the other team and they start to find their rhythm, that's worse than serving it out. But again, serving it out is better than in the net. Just give him a chance to guess on that pass. Oops.
Mbalo had that one blocked. Tao to McNamara. They get the kill. Tao's done a nice job. She's not a flashy setter, but she's done a good job of distributing the ball, I feel like.
Absolutely, and I saw her in one play. She was in the middle of the court, lined up to get that to the right side and back set it. Something that may not seem difficult to a lot of people, but it's difficult. Just court awareness.
Swanson's serve was out, so 18-11 now as Brands to the service line for the Eagles.
Nice.
Swanson, another nice dig. Overpass there as Osseo coming out on top of that little net battle.
Yeah, McNamara. You don't have to be the strongest. They both, first of all, look very strong. But as my coach said, you don't have to be the strongest to win a match at the net when the ball is in the middle. Just have to push last. And McNamara pushed last.
Win into serve here. Orioles up 19-11 as they try and finish a sweep here tonight.
Nice pass.
And Abalo putting it away as the Eagles. It all started out with good serve receive there, and just things look a lot smoother when you get that pass up nicely to the setter, and timing is there, and block was late.
Yeah, you could see there, that was the first one in a while that Abalo was able to get behind the ball, get a good swing instead of just tipping it to the left or the right. Everything's good when there's a good pass, I guess.
Hurlbrink serving for Grace.
Nice.
Cradwell too long with that one. They went with the slide to the outside there, but didn't really get on top of that one. Drove it on a flat plane out. Andre coming to Cradwell, dug up by Neski. And Eagles clawing back as Perkins trying to switch her hands at the last second there.
And just a great swing. It's hard to find, or really it's hard to, wow, I cannot talk in the moment, but it's hard to find your rhythm when that ball is coming at your chest. You have to get under it really fast in order to get it up and ready for someone else to play.
Swanson will send it over here. Eagles putting some pressure on with good serves. Andre to Cradwell. And block couldn't close in time, and the Orioles are first to 20 here.
And we've talked about Evans having a pretty quick arm swing, but Cardwell also is able to get up there and snap pretty quick, especially when she's on time, the set's there. I mean, that's everybody, but she has quite the quick arm swing, which is hard to close for a middle blocker when everything's in the right place.
Andre had to attack that one as the pass was into the net and did a good job attacking that second ball. 21-14 Orioles.
Yeah, and good on her. Instead of just poking it over right where the libero is, push it a little bit deeper. So yeah, you could tell it's coming over the net, but she put it exactly where nobody was, put a little force on it.
That's going to be too long. 22-14 Osseo. In some ways, these sets are kind of going the same, where there are points when you say Grace is staying right with them, but they're just little runs and things, kind of get away from them.
Yeah, and it does resonate what Pilar said. They have a lot of talent just figuring out how to put it together.
Oops, Osseo, that one. Good recovery, though, by McNamara just to get it over. Middle to McNamara.
And that is one thing I would, as the season goes on, I would love to see is their block is there, but it just is maybe a little bit late. They don't push over quite in the right direction, but the hardest part is getting there. So they get the touches. It's just whether or not they push over in the right spot. So over time, that'll look good, but at the moment, a little bit of a detriment as the hitters start to use the block and they kind of see the hands and they're able to use it to their advantage.
Andre back from McNamara. Nicely dug though. Off the block. Oops, and then Ashland kind of indecisive there and mishits it. Set and match point chance here for Osseo.
Yeah, and just couldn't quite get, I feel like the only thing really lacking is just couldn't quite get that communication back to where it was in that first game for Totino Grace, kind of second guessing yourself, your teammates around you, and usually that results in some not aggressive or confident plays.
Going to come to Evans, and the exclamation point as Evans puts it away for Osseo, and they end up getting the sweep here, 25-15. The third set was the only one where they trailed at any point a little bit, but overall a pretty impressive showing here for Osseo tonight, and they bounced back nicely from a tough night on Tuesday too.
Yeah, and as the coach was saying, they had a long talk. They figured out that all they needed to do is find each other when they were down. And as you said, this is the first game of all three that they were trailing, but it was also the biggest gap that they won by. So really proud on them for finding each other in the times when they were down, but also proud on Totino. They obviously have a lot of talent there and a lot of people eager to get ready. So the scores don't really reflect this game we saw today and the confidence on both sides, but just a couple little tweaks here and there. Totino do be great, and Osseo's doing good and chug it away.
So the Orioles win it 25-20, 25-17, and 25-15. Hope you've enjoyed the match here tonight on CCX. Thanks so much for joining us. For Janae Alderson and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. The Orioles over the Eagles tonight here in Osseo.